with Satoru Iwata. You have access.
My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass, I'm about taking names, and we're about making games. We like games with big stars and big explosions. And we like games so scary, they keep you up at night. It is game time. It's a new day for me, and a new day for Nintendo. So let's get a couple things straight right off the bat. Part of my job is finding a way for you, the game experts, to have fun. At the same time, I understand if you're among the terminally hip, Nintendo isn't your only choice for gaming. But maybe what you've already seen helps you understand that we're serious about expanding what we do. We also understand that we're not going to run our company just for hardcore gamers. There are gamers out there who aren't as knowledgeable as you, gamers who aren't your age, gamers who don't have your tastes, gamers who live for Mario and Yoshi and Pokemon. It's my job, it's Nintendo's job, to make sure we satisfy all the gamers and to do it better than our competition. We know that this is your third stop on the press tour over the last 24 hours. We know what you've seen and heard, so let me draw a comparison. One of our competitors is a manufacturer in Japan who wants to capture every one of your entertainment dollars, transporting all your content between all your electronics devices on their memory sticks. We're not that company. And there's another company out there who doesn't care what you do as long as you do it on their operating system. We're not that company either. Over the years, I know you've heard a lot of Nintendo people say, we're all about the game. Well, guess what? We are. Whether you're talking about Donkey Kong or Tetris, Madden or Mario, Metal Gear or Resident Evil, he with the best games wins. Always been that way, always will. As this company moves forward, you're going to see more Nintendo games and different Nintendo games, and most importantly, new ways for you to relate to your games. But let me tell you one other thing. This is not a promise for what we're going to do sometime in the future. It's what we're doing right now. And if you don't realize that, listen closely. While others are talking, Nintendo is acting. Let me ask you a question. What company right now is driving category sales? If you said someone other than Nintendo, you're wrong. We have momentum, have had it since late last year. And if you don't feel it yet, you will. I'll promise you that. Now, I'd like you to welcome a guy who's been essential in building that momentum, George Harrison.
Good job. Well, good morning. Reggie mentioned what's going on in the market right now, so let's take a look. This graph shows the industry sales, excluding Nintendo, over the last 2 quarters, compared with the previous period. Now, you don't need an MBA to realize that this really isn't a pretty picture. A full half year of negative growth. Now, let's look at what Nintendo's done in the same time periods. In the last 3 months of last year, up a whopping 21%. And in the first quarter of this year, despite the fact that we're competing with our own success, last year launching Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, Zelda Wind Waker, and even Game Boy Advance SP, we're up another 7%. So without Nintendo, there would be no growth. On the console side, we see plenty of business yet to be done in this generation. And unlike one of our competitors, who appears anxious for this generation to end, we're intent on fully playing out our hand. It's how we've always played the game because it works. Right now, industry growth is being delivered by Nintendo, only by Nintendo. And that's because we're focused on the here and now. Here's the up-to-date scorecard on the console business. Over the last year, Sony has sold through about 6 million machines. That's a decline of about 28% from the year before. Microsoft moved about 3.2 million machines, essentially flat with the previous year. During that same period, Nintendo sold through over 3.3 million units of GameCube, a jump of 41%. And yes, that is good for second place. So when you run the software equation, you get a very similar answer. Nintendo GameCube is more than holding its own. So far in 2004, we've sold more games per system than Microsoft, and we're closing in on Sony. Now, overall, the 3 systems combined have sold about 38 million units in this generation. And we believe that the potential for this generation is more than 55 million units. That means there are almost 20 million units still to be sold. And you have to ask yourself, what will sell them? Well, this is the 4th system that Nintendo has introduced and managed to the back half of a console cycle. And we've learned that success here always relies on the same 3 things. First, we've all burned through the hardcore early adopters, the gamers who want the most extreme challenges. They want them to occupy them for weeks or days at a time. The late adopters want something else. They want pure entertainment, entertainment that's easy to get into, and often just for a quick burst of time. And second, they want familiarity. They want names and characters from past generations that they're comfortable with. And finally, and most importantly, they want value. They're hunting for bargains. Major play for minor pay. Now, any of these 3 factors can win the market share in the back half of a console cycle. But if you've got all 3 going for you, this is what you get. We dropped the Nintendo GameCube price in late September. After 30 days, sales were up 50% over the same period in the previous year. After 60 days, they were up 58%. And counting through the holidays, even though we had already begun to run out of inventory, we sold more than 73% more GameCubes than we did in the prior year. Now, this chart does 2 things. First, it shows you why Nintendo is driving growth for the industry. And at the same time, it sets the bar for sales performance from our console competitors. Can those competitors grow 73% in their first 90 days after a price drop? Well, we'll see. More importantly, though, we suspect it will be quite some time until someone can match our $99 price point. The value advantage in a value-conscious market clearly remains with Nintendo. Now next, we're fully deploying the familiar franchises that are so popular with the mass market. At the top of our briefing, we showed you 3 games designed to move the souls of even the most veteran gamer. And we're intent on expanding the GameCube's appeal. But we're not going to do it by ignoring the casual players who are just in it for a little bit of fun. On the show floor tomorrow, you'll see our market movers in action. A new Donkey Kong adventure, a new Pikmin, a move for Advance Wars to GameCube, and Mario making 2 appearances in Mario Party 6 and in Paper Mario. In all, Nintendo's GameCube library will grow to more than 400 games this year. And the common factor among all of them is fun. Now, new ways of interacting aren't just limited to GameCube. Now, as you're all aware, Pokemon has again taken the market by storm in Japan with the new Fire Red and Leaf Green editions. They sold through nearly 2.5 million copies in less than 15 weeks. But there's a brand new kind of appeal here, too. The ability to trade your Pokemon with your friends using the Game Boy Advance wireless adapter. This opens up whole new horizons for the creators. And in fact, you'll soon be seeing and playing wirelessly with more than a dozen titles. It's great software and innovation like this that have pushed every competitor out of the out of the portable game space. And 9 serious competitors have made a run at Game Boy in the past 15 years. But 9 have failed. Game Boy doesn't just lead the handheld gaming market, it owns it. The Game Boy franchise this year is also making a significant revolution because of this feature, Game Boy Advance Video. No new hardware or accessories needed to play back pre-recorded material from these small video packs. The first titles will include multiple episodes of Pokemon and others on one pack. Well, will it sell? Initial orders are already over 2 million units. You can look forward to soon to material with a decidedly older appeal, and will have significantly larger memory capacity to allow even more video playback. Well, wireless connection and video playback really widen Game Boy's appeal. But in an important sense, that appeal is already expanding. It may surprise you to learn that 1/3 of all Game Boy Advance SP users are over the age of 18. And our classic NES line, coming in June, will bump the age appeal even higher. The new limited edition classic NES hardware and 8 classic games for $19.99 are sure to be a hit with gamers over the age of 25. Now let me take a moment to talk about the newest competitor in the handheld game. There is no doubt in our minds that the PSP will have some initial appeal for exactly the demographic in this audience today. But in this election year, let me put it this way. By the time the PSP gets on the ballot next spring, more than 25 million Americans will have already voted for Game Boy Advance. Now, if you're asking whether PSP can catch Game Boy Advance, maybe we should first ask, can the PS2 catch Game Boy Advance? Since its launch in June of 2001, Game Boy Advance has sold more units than PlayStation 2 in America. For that matter, since its launch, the SP all by itself has done exactly the same thing. So we sit today with a roughly 100% market share of the handheld market. Will that decline? Well, it certainly can't go up. But that loyal base of 25 million Game Boy Advance owners is just the first of the many mountains that Sony has to climb. Game Boy Advance SP is built to be tossed in the backpack, carried in the briefcase, or even dropped in an airline terminal. With no internal drive, it stands up to a lot of abuse. And when it turns on, it lasts. The lack of a moving media also means that the gameplay powers on. We expect our battery life to significantly outpace Sony's. So we think that's enough to be a deal breaker for really true game players. Now finally, those of you who've been around our industry for a while realize that Game Boy at heart, really is a platform like any other, built on the back of exclusive, must-have titles. Game Boy never would have built its initial audience without the appeal of Tetris and Super Mario Land. Never would have leapfrogged into the sales stratosphere without Pokemon. These are games that launched only on Game Boy. Sony, just like Nokia and others, have to find a killer application before they can truly appeal to the mass market. So bottom line, Game Boy set an all-time record last year. We sold through more systems than any other year in our history. And now, with the wireless play and the video playback, suddenly that appeal is that much greater. In the end, though, it's still about the games. And this year, you'll see Donkey Kong Country 2, F-Zero 2, The Legend of Zelda, Mario Advance, Mario Party, and Mario Pinball, all coming to Game Boy Advance. Together, there's a heavenly array of hits for both Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube. The stars truly are coming out.
What we've talked about today are can't-miss products for Nintendo GameCube and Game Boy Advance. Games you'll be playing very soon. But there's something else in our future.
I know that a lot of the portable gamers that we have, and there's millions of them.
I think the dual screen is going to be amazing. It's about changing the way you play.
I think that the dual screen is the next leap forward. It looks like it could be a really neat concept. It's two-screen systems, never been done before.
Well, I think everybody else is going to have to catch up.
All my friends are talking about the dual screen coming out, and I can't wait for it to come out.
I can't wait to see it.
Well, the wait is over. This is Nintendo DS. From the time we announced its code name, you've known these initials to represent the most obvious feature, dual screens. But that's not what the initials stand for to us. DS has a much larger and more relevant meaning. DS, Developer's System. In creating DS, we've given the world's most talented game makers new tools to work with, new ways to express their imaginations, and of course, in the end, new enjoyment for all of us. The result is this: DS not only changes Nintendo, it changes our industry. You'll find Nintendo DS represents a brand new way for players to relate to their games and to each other. Listen to the experts.
Nintendo came down and presented the DS platform to us just about a month or so ago. I think everyone was in shock.
When I told the functions of DS to our creators, they were very excited and eager to work on new development. They really liked DS.
The introduction of Nitro, or the DS, is going to allow us to take handheld gaming to the next level.
The history of the platform in the last 10 years is that improvements were made on only certain functions. It has been a long time since the platform itself changed radically.
With the DS, I think they set the next standard across the board for all kinds of things.
It's going to generate such a new way of playing games that is going to generate automatically more emotion, more excitement, and more fun for the player, which is basically what we are here for.
Things will totally change. We will think anew what we want to express and what kind of things we want players to enjoy using this platform. We're expecting to change the contents of the game, how to play the game, and how to make the game.
The DS will continue Nintendo's great success in the handheld gaming market.
It's very innovative technology that is clearly focused on immersing the consumer into the gaming experience.
As a whole, the development community already understands what's going on here. I like to think of it like buying a car. Admit it, your left brain looks at a vehicle in terms of the numbers. What's the horsepower, the towing capacity, the 0 to 60? That's our competitor's approach. But your right brain is different. There's only one question out there. Sitting behind the wheel, where will this baby take me? In other words, do you want to go just a little bit faster down the same streets you've always driven, or down a new road to places you've never seen before? That's the difference with Nintendo DS. Let me explain how this new journey is going to happen. Up to now, most of what the world knows about DS are those two screens. Today, it's my privilege to tell you the rest of the story. But let's start with the two screens. Each is programmable in 2D or 3D. The choice is up to the game designer. This opens a wealth of options for the developers, and they're totally excited about it. The 3D quality is simply beautiful. Most of you remember how you felt the first time you saw Super Mario 64 on Nintendo 64. It was a breakthrough that took the industry by storm. But this is Nintendo DS action, playing on our new portable system, just as you'll see it on the show floor tomorrow. Isn't it exciting? Well, then Mario sees himself in Nintendo DS, and he feels like flying. Now, how exactly do these screens get used? Well, again, it's developer's choice. But for starters, one character can stand 2 panels high, or take 2 different perspectives of the same battle, or monitor constantly available maps and menus. Here's a brand new Metroid game playing on Nintendo DS. The same way you'll be playing it tomorrow. Targeting and shooting now moves beyond buttons. Just tap the screen where you want to fire. Metroid's missions have always been nerve-wracking, but now they're non-stop, because all of your map positioning and weapons changes are done on the fly. It's just awesome. But 2 screens are just the first of 2s that define DS. Let's move on to the next pair, 2 media bays. One accommodates DS software, easily holding games with 1 gigabit of data and well beyond. The other plays all of your favorite GBA games. That's right, backward compatibility means an instant library of over 500 titles. And it also welcomes a host of different accessories to enrich your game experience. Next, consider the most exciting 2 for game players. 2 incredible new forms of player control. This is where the connection to your game really changes. The first is touchscreen, responding to either a stylus or to your fingertip. It's transformative. Whether you're inputting data onto a software keyboard or actually changing the direction or viewpoint of your gameplay, it's truly unique. The combination of 2 screens and touchscreen stands to reinvent gameplay. You can only find this on Nintendo. You can only feel this on Nintendo. And besides touch, there's talk. The built-in microphone can be married to voice recognition programs. That means your voice, and only your voice, can control the play. Together, touch and voice opens vast new realms of game interaction. If you're looking for the future of gaming, look at the interface. Finally, my favorite 2, dual wireless capability. The first is a proprietary application that allows up to 16 people to play and communicate together. The range extends up to 100 feet. Think about different seats in an office, a lecture hall, an airplane. Who says they can't all become connected playgrounds? And with Nintendo DS, local wireless takes on a whole new definition. Specifically, imagine instant chat and draw, transmitted exactly like you created in your handwriting. Your little works of art will look the same way on other screens as they do on your own. And DS will even connect for you, springing to life from sleep mode once you're in range of someone else transmitting in group format. But what if your friend is more than a few feet away, say a few time zones away? No problem. Wi-Fi means you can connect via the net. It's beyond online, it's no line. In all, this machine truly is transformative. It changes how you connect to your games and to each other. There's no reason to take my word for it. Instead, listen again to the developers who are already working on it. Their eyes are fixed firmly on the game horizon, mapping entirely new routes with Nintendo DS.
We look at the Nintendo DS as the next generation in portable gaming. It's more advanced, fully 3D. The two screens allow for a new game mechanic.
I think the brighter display, and I think this new memory format is really going to set the standard for how handheld devices are going to be created in the future.
What I like best is the touch panels. The idea of just touching is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's the touch panels that make things easy. The games that took a very complicated operating system and input system may be more player-friendly by using touch panels. The function will enable us to try more interesting things.
And one of the most exciting parts of playing video games is competing with your friends and your family, and to be able to compete with a live person is just ultimately the most exciting part of a product. The fact that a format like Nintendo DS supports that kind of multiplayer is tremendous because it really allows games to get to the next level.
We can use 4 screens when played by 2 players, maybe even 6 screens or 8 screens. The number of screens increases rapidly, and that kind of possibility of expansion makes us excited.
The developer opportunities are right now what's really driving a lot of creativity in the studios. How are we going to use the wireless? What can we do with 2 screens? What about the touch screen? That's really focusing our game designers on trying to build games in an entirely new way.
What you've heard and what you've seen don't begin to tell the DS story. You can't start to appreciate it until you get your hands on one starting tomorrow. And even then, it's just a start. The benefits of DS will be rolling out for months and years following launch. And when will that launch come? We're targeting release of Nintendo DS in both Japan and America this year. And Europe and Australia in the first quarter of next year. It will come to the market. It will come to the market with a new name and at an affordable price. On the show floor tomorrow, you'll see a wide range of demonstrations. Many of them, in fact, will become retail software. The change that DS represents, and indeed all of the new Nintendo, is happening under the leadership of our worldwide president, Mr. Satoru Iwata. Please join me in welcoming him.
Thank you. Thank you. Nintendo was proud when we introduced the plus key switch with the NES instead of arcade joysticks. Proud of 2-player gaming with the NES and 4-player gaming on Nintendo 64. Proud of that analog joystick and the Rumble Pack and True 3D. We are proud we established portable gaming with Game Boy. All these advances are now industry standards. All make us proud. But I think we are most proud of this. All of those innovations changed games, and so will Nintendo DS. DS is not simply new. It's not just more functions or higher specs. It is different. Of course, Nintendo DS is not the only change in our future. That same word, different, also defines our approach for our next home system. It won't simply be new. It won't simply include new technologies. Better technology is good, but technology is not enough. Today's consoles already offer fairly photorealistic expressions. Simply beefing up those graphics will not let most of us see a difference. So what should a new machine do? For both game creators and game players, new machine needs to do much more. They must offer an unprecedented play experience, something no other machine has delivered before. The definition of a new machine must be different. I want you to know that Nintendo is working on our next system, and that system will create a gaming revolution. Internal game development is underway. When the impact of the new home machine comes, our revolution will be there. I suppose I could give you a list of our technical specs. I believe you'd like that, but I won't for a simple reason. They really don't matter. The time when horsepower alone made an important difference is over. From this time on, we must create something more unprecedented experiences, the same way we have with Nintendo DS. So let me repeat. Work on revolution is well underway. When you see it, you will be excited because you will experience a gaming revolution. And with Nintendo DS, video games will be changed. This week, I invite you to enjoy the great new experiences we are creating for Nintendo GameCube and Nintendo Game Boy Advance, and of course, the wonderful new Nintendo DS. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Iwata. I hope you've all enjoyed our program this morning. But before you leave, I'd like you to step inside one more world for Nintendo GameCube.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shigeru Miyamoto.
I'm not Link, but I do know him. Even after 18 years, the Legend of Zelda never stops changing. And this game is no different. We are now taking you to a world where Link has grown up, a world where he will act different and look different. In order to grow, Link must not stand still. and neither can I. So, thank you. And goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've spent my entire career marketing products to teens and 20-somethings. And I learned a long time ago, there's no BSing that audience. They want great product and they want great value. They want cutting edge and they want legendary. They want the best of the past and they demand what's absolutely right now. Nintendo is delivering all of that. Zelda, Capcom's Resident Evil, Pokemon, Mario, and Nintendo DS all boost the momentum we're carrying into this E3 through the rest of this year and well beyond. We're giving players what they want for both GameCube and Game Boy Advance, and they're rewarding us with more market share. Funny how that works. As you've seen, Nintendo DS is not standing still. As a 10th serious competitor decides to make a run at Game Boy, DS raises the bar on portable gaming before they even get started. Nintendo DS is a third way to play. It defines its own category. It reinvents portable entertainment, and so will Nintendo's revolution. I hope if we've done anything, it's to show you that this is a new day for Nintendo. We remain all about the game, all about the gamer, or in other words, all about you. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Satoru Iwata from Nintendo. I am president of Nintendo and Company Limited. DS is a totally new machine, not successor to Game Boy. This is a machine to change the gaming, handheld gaming. This is a machine which will provide really revolutionary, unprecedented experiences. DS has double screen as well known. And also, we have a touch screen, one of the screen, and a combination of touch screen and double screen will change the game. And also, we have dual slot. We can insert the GBA cartridge in one side, and another side we can insert DS card for new format. And also, we have wireless features. Wireless features also have dual. That means one is Nintendo proprietary wireless technologies, which provides lower latency. It is very suitable for real-time games. And also, we have Wi-Fi compatible wireless. That can provide us the possibility to connect through internet, through hotspot, Wi-Fi hotspot. Everyone may surprise the change of Zelda, but we are the people to make surprise positive surprise for you. This is the reason why we change.
The team which has already worked on the Metroid Prime 1 has been working on for the development, and they know the Metroid Prime and they know the games, and they have spent so much time in order to come up with the best possible Metroid Prime game. We are very looking forward to the final completion of the Metroid Prime 2. Today we have just shown you a fraction of the gameplay, but please do look forward to the final completion of the product. Many people might have been wondering that if there would be at all the Star Fox game to be introduced to the marketing then, but yeah, please feel relaxed because we have come to the stage we can show off what the Star Fox will look like today. Mario is shaped like paper, and thanks to the great technology of the GameCube, the paper Mario can be reproduced on the TV screens in a variety of different fashions. I really hope that you are going to enjoy the really new form of the 3D graphics generated for the GameCube. Let me talking about one more game, and that is the Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Well, I think it was a very unusual title since today was the very first day when we talked anything about this Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. But this game has been developed by a newly established Tokyo development team. I think we established just last year. And it is a kind of action game, but the controlling is not going to be done by the authentic GameCube controller, but rather it is going to be done by the Konga controller, which is specifically designed for the Donkey Konga game.
Karen Kaplan from Nintendo, talking to you from the E3 show floor, our grand booth that we have here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of noise in the background, as you can hear. We've got some great products we're showing this year. Our biggest is DS, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. We have lots and lots of great GameCube games. Metroid Prime 2, which is a multiplayer game. We've got Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which uses some congas. It's a complete blast. It's a good party game. And we've got a lot of Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance SP, in its beautiful style as always, with tons and tons of software. And then we're showing off the DS, which is our dual screen handheld. It's beautiful. Here comes my opportunity to show it to you. It's got 2 screens, all kinds of features. It's got a touch screen with a stylus, which is on the lower part. So you can play a variety of different games using the stylus or your finger. So for example, you could have your larger portion of the game on the top and a smaller map of details on the bottom. You could have a character that spans 2 panels. You could do PictoChat, which allows you to draw pictures and do messaging back and forth with a friend. There's so many different features on this product. It's got a built-in microphone, so I'll have voice recognition. And we've got about 20 different demos on the show floor for people to try out, with long, long lines waiting to try it. And we're looking at launching it this year in the US and in Japan. And lots of people are looking forward to it already. The Nintendo GameCube continues to be very, very popular. We are selling about 73% more GameCubes than we were a year ago. So sales for us are very, very strong. It's at $99. It's a pretty hot price for a pretty powerful package. All that power inside one box. A lot of great games. Metroid Prime 2, which is a multiplayer game. A lot of fans have been waiting for that. We've announced a new Zelda that's in the works that will launch next year in 2005 with Link looking older. He grows up. Beautiful game. Are you ready? Mr. Miyamoto introduced that and, of course, got screams from his fans, so that was very exciting. We've got Geist, which is a really unique game where you, basically Geist stands for ghost, but you inhabit the body of anything from a dog to a human, and you're able to maneuver through the game that way. We've got Resident Evil 4, where the zombies are smarter than ever. It's a very advanced game that's an exclusive from Capcom for Nintendo. We've got a whole host of GameCube games to give that product many, many millions of users and many more years of life.
Hi, you are at the Midway booth at E3. My name is Michael Gottlieb. I'm the executive producer for Area 51. Area 51 will be coming out this fall on PS2 and Xbox, and I'm going to give you a quick demo of the product here. Area 51 was actually a Midway coin-op game about 10 years ago, very, very popular, and after the success we had bringing back the Spy Hunter franchise, we thought it would be really cool to bring back Area 51. And we're going to start here showing you some squad-based combat. You are essentially locked in this military facility, and there's been an outbreak of an alien virus, and these soldiers have mutated. So you have to fend them off along with protecting your squad here. You can see this is the Xbox version, but the PS2 version looks every bit as good. Whoa! We're really proud of the quality of the animations and all the special effects within the game. Down here in the middle of the action. This is kind of a Black Hawk Down type scenario where you're kind of pinned down and the mutated scientists are all coming after you. Again, basic storyline in Area 51 is you're a hazmat specialist. You've been sent into the facility because allegedly there's been a chemical spill. But in fact, once you get inside the facility, you find out it's not a chemical spill, that an alien virus has been released and it's causing the people within the facility to mutate. You get inside the facility and then there's a complete lockdown where nobody's allowed in or out, so you have to play through deeper and deeper, layer by layer, through the Area 51 facility to find out the alien conspiracy and all the secrets that are contained within. And we're really playing off all the lore that you would expect out of Area 51. We've got a fake lunar landing set. There's the alien autopsies. The gray aliens are in here as well. So that's an example of a firefight, team-based combat, or excuse me, squad. An example of squad combat. I'll show you now what it looks like inside the alien spaceship. So essentially when you start the game, you start in what you'd call a conventional military environment, and progressively you move through. You find the alien spaceship, you fight within the alien spaceship and fight against the Thetas and the Greys, and eventually at the end of the game you end up in an area we call the excavation, which is the deepest layer of Area 51. So right now we're inside the spaceship, and we're doing a lot of cool things with animating textures and bump mapping. Little gray alien pops out and he vaporizes. You see some nice stuff we're doing here in terms of like scrolling textures and different effects, and we're actually rendering the entire frame in the sniper scope window as well, which is kind of cool. So the way the Greys fight with you is they don't actually do any hand-to-hand combat or use conventional weapons. They have these orbs and they use their mind, and they control different defensive mechanisms within the environment. So right now I'm trying to take out these gun turrets that they're shooting at me with. So we got the second one there, and he just vaporizes. And we'll go up here again within the alien spacecraft. You can kind of see what, I don't know if this is what you'd expect in an alien ship, but this is kind of what our imaginations, the path our imaginations led us, and lots of transparency and multi-pass texturing. So now you find out that the special ops that you were fighting were not actually humans, but they were spawned by the Greys. You can see the Gray there, and he's going to spawn these guys, and I've got to get out of the way because I'm going to be in a lot of trouble in a second. Whoa! And again, we're really proud of our animations within the game, and I'll show you one last little sequence here where you can see how the aliens communicate with you as the player. Game's been in development for about 3 years. It's proprietary rendering technology that we developed ourselves. The engine itself took about 18 or 20 months to develop, and we're really excited. We're going to have online on PS2 with multiplayer deathmatch and a couple of different modes. And the main game itself has got about 16 or 17 missions right now. We've got to get all that firmed up, but we're getting really close here. So this is another environment. We're going to start coming up an elevator here. doors open. Go down this hallway. There's a big explosion, so we're not going to be able to get through there, so we're going to go this way. Now, the way the aliens communicate to you is they bring the dead bodies to life, and the dead bodies talk to you. And we also have head tracking, where the heads of the dead bodies will follow you around. This is first pass at lip sync. It's not done. We've got like 80 bones in the face, so the lip sync is going to be absolutely phenomenal. But you can see he head tracks you there. Pretty cool. And then, of course, we have a full physics system with Ragdoll. Make sure you can see his arm coming out there. Just mutated into an alien, and this is one of the alien weapons. It's a parasite that shoots out of my body and consumes whatever I'm shooting at. So you can see the parasite spiraling around there, and that guy is toast. Okay, and I'll switch, so I've got the parasite weapon here. Switch back to a conventional weapon. We're doing a lot of vertical gameplay, a lot of real tall environments. You can see, again, full ragdoll physics. I think the animations look really nice.
A long, long time ago it was, before people began to dwell in the sky. A terrible war was waged between us humans and the wicked god. After the horrendous battle, our ancestors entombed the wicked god and left the polluted and barren earth to find their future in the skies.
In this world, there are things that people mustn't touch. Who cares?
The god of demise and destruction, the cursed power of Marpetro.
The end, Magnus? Never heard of that before.
Damn, the bastards.
It's unthinkable to act against the Empire?
Great heroes are just so busy.
I've been waiting.
Finish him. He will inflict a catastrophe upon the Empire.
Let us trust
Just
the young,
one more,
who hold the spirit within them.
Only such a battle will fill the void within you and soothe the agony inside.
From when did you know?
Kibari! No dead weight!
No way!
Only hope, the lost ocean.
Awaken! God of the past!
Now! Be what you want to be!
Someday you will know what you are meant to be.
Hi, my name is Claudia, and I'm playing the new Donkey Kong Jungle Beat from the Tokyo Development House. Okay, we gotta start. You gotta clap for power and energy, and these are your gears. So here we go. All right. So you gotta run with the right, jump, run with the right, clap for power, and then you gotta knock them out. And now the game begins. That's the interlude. So here we go. Very excited. Okay. Just 1 minute. Okay, here we go. So you gotta run and get the bananas. So again, you're still gearing with the right. Run, 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 and then jump. And that just destroys everything. It's like extra powers. Jump. It's almost as if he has bullets in his paws. Some of these things don't die, so you really gotta, now you gotta build a bridge. Oh, too late. Gotta go back. All right, here we go. The mushrooms grow. This brings you over, and now you get the big monster guy who blows a strong air at you, and you gotta just run to him and then kill him. And now I get to go beat him up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to the cave. Now there's these crazy hyenas that attack me, or whatever they are. And now I gotta clap my way to the top. Now this armadillo that never dies, he's the worst. You gotta really kick his butt in order to get him down. Okay, now I get to beat him up. But he's relentless. I hope I got him. And I do! Okay, on to the next round. Sweating. So you burn calories when you're doing this. Again, sorry? Is that coming out soon? Yeah. It's the next battle. Okay. Is that cool? Yeah. Okay. So now you gotta swing from the vines. Oh, I missed it. Now I gotta run all the way back. Jump, jump, jump. Oh. So you really get into it. It works your whole arms. So you get a workout. As well as fun. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm working up a sweat now. Oh, and I missed it. Almost at the battle, I promise. Now I gotta fly with the bird. Take it up, take it up. Can't hit any walls, because then you die. Once I get up here, I am gonna fight the other gorilla. Okay, now I'm going to the battle zone. Now I get to beat up a gorilla. It's like a big confrontation. And he's mean. He has red eyes. You clap to dodge, and then you hit him. You actually don't need to hit it that hard because they're very sensitive. But you get into it, you can't help it. See, he doesn't die either. Oh, this might be it. No. Yay! King of the Jungle! And that is it. Ta-da!
sports. It's in the game.
Well, sometimes at this stage of the season, the manager takes the players away for a sunshine break, but not in the case of these two clubs. They've decided to stay at home. They've got a break from the league action, but they're going to play a friendly match. Now, I don't quite know what you make of that, Ali McCoy. Is there sort of a built-in bonus here?
Well, I would think so, John. A lot of players and indeed a lot of fans and spectators aren't happy with friendly games. But I look at it sometimes from the coach's point of view. They're vital. You know, you can try different things, try different formations, but the most important thing from the spectator's point of view is they're entertained. And I don't see any reason why these fans today will not be entertained when you just look at the talent on show on that park.
Absolutely. Let's hope the talent gets a chance to express itself. Here's the referee. Well, I wonder what first half we've got in store here. Gonzalez. Going on a run down the wing. Gonzalez. Opportunity perhaps. Oh, I thought he was getting ready for an overhead kick there.
Let's hope they do test the keeper today, John.
You mean this show?
That's where they all hang out. Our information tells us that there's 14 of them.
And they're all fun.
Keep one alive so we can add it to the prize.
More than 14. Those bastards are breeding.
They were all bosses. Lord smile.
And the devil have mercy.
Put your arms down.
Good night, child. A new generation of children will bring order to this age. Kids scream. You always seem to win because you're a bad player. the world will keep getting smaller. There's always time for fun. There are people who have been dying to see you. Now, close your eyes.
Killer 7. EA Games.
Challenge everything.
Too late. They are upon us.
All right. Let's settle the score.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
my name is Alex Palomares with Nintendo, and I'm here to show you Metroid Prime 2 Echoes for the Nintendo GameCube. This game is actually coming out in November 15th, and it's actually the next installment of Metroid Prime, and it's got a lot of action. It's got a lot of mean villains. It's got this space pirate here. A lot of new features to it. A lot of beautiful cinematics in the game, and a lot of new puzzles to solve. You're going to have different power-ups and the old school power-ups like the screw attack and the wall jump that are going to make the game a lot of fun, and a lot of people are going to enjoy just the old school effect to it. You see my nemesis here, my new nemesis. Here is Dark Samus, who is going to try to wreck shop, and I'm going to try to get her. Here's Samus getting introduced to this paradigm shift here of the world, where now this light world has been transformed. So a lot of new stuff to it, to the actual game. There's a lot of new scanning areas, different areas to go. I forgot to activate one thing, so it's definitely going to be a hot game. I would definitely recommend it to anybody who is into the Metroid games, anybody who loves adventure games. This game is going to be a lot of adventures, new puzzles. It's going to have all the stuff that you love about Metroid, from the space jam, from the screw attack to the wall jump. So a lot of the old school stuff and a lot of new elements to the game. It's going to be a game that everybody that likes any adventure game is going to get into this one. It also has multiplayer games, so if you didn't get enough Metroid Prime, this one's going to have a lot new replay value added to it just because of the actual multiplayer game aspect of the game. We're going to go see here the introduction of this new world, which will take me to the Dark World. As you see here, the cinematics are beautiful. Samus is better looking than ever before, and now she's going to go into a realm she's never been before. The storyline, although unknown at this point, is going to be pretty long. It's going to be a long game. Metroid has always been a long game, and now that you have the multiplayer game, the value of the game is going to be bigger than before. We've got an eye here, we got a scatter to see what's going on. So you're going to be playing this game forever, just on the story mode alone. But when you get your friends together, you go with 4-player deathmatch or what have you, you're going to see a new aspect of Metroid that you were always wanted to see. First time ever, you're going to see Metroid in an actual multiplayer aspect game. I know multiplayer games often you can play for hours on end with all your buddies there. We'll see an introduction here of the new enemies. As you see, these guys are pretty evil looking, and they're a different matter, so they're going to be unstoppable in one form. You see right now I'm using my light beam. These being dark creatures, I want to use my light beam. But at the same time, I want to use the other beam to get more ammo, because it does introduce more strategy to this game. You see those guys disappear? I can't shoot them anymore, so I got to chase after them, different angles here, and avoid their large power beams. The game is definitely intense, and this is just the beginning. You definitely haven't seen the boss battle. You know that when you get to meet yourself up, and the Dark Samus is going to pose some threat to you, because she's going to have all the power-ups you have, and she's going to be a dark, evil Samus, so she's going to have a lot more of the evil attacks on you, and you being a light character are going to be susceptible to a lot of their actual attacks there. I'm trying to get this guy to come out so I can finish him off. So right now it's successful. We'll get to go back to the light world and enter another area where we weren't before. So there's a lot of elements where you're going to be going back and forth through this portal, to get to the end of the game and actually hunt down Dark Samus and actually get to save the world once again. So the big story is, are you the one that's being hunted, or are you the hunter? As you can see now, I'm out of ammo, so I gotta charge things up to my other gun here and try to get more of that dark ammo back. There's a little Metroid there, a little glimpse of the future there. We gotta figure out how to go here. I was pointing out earlier, there's a lot of puzzles. Oh, there's my bridge here. We'll activate this elevator. And go here and try to fight. Game over for me. As you see, the game is really intense. There's going to be a lot of hours of gameplay to it. It's going to be a lot of new puzzles, a lot of elements that you remember from Metroid Prime, things that you love, and new things that you've never seen. So Metroid Prime, November 15th for the Nintendo GameCube.
Narcotic Squad, Deep Cover, aka Hell on Earth. In this line of work, you gotta handle things they never taught you about at the academy. You can walk the line, or you can cross it. Sometimes it's hard to resist the temptation.
Street life's rough, man, no doubt about that. I'm raising thieves and thugs, man, I'm right about that. So don't lie my hustle and stick to the script. Make money, spend money, put runs on the whip.
You have the right to an attorney.
At the best, some kind of policeman.
Agent Hill, Narc Squad.
Close up shop, I must have been a yard dog who's to stay on the block. Yeah, this a new exclusive, baby.
Hey, you want some of this?
Okay, I think so.
This is my beef. My life. My drug.
I got a bad feeling about this.
You have the right to an attorney.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
the right side first. Team right side tire. 1 can of racing fuel going in. The crew will now swing over to the left side. This will be a 4-tire stop. 4 tires and 2 cans of 76 racing fuel. And that's what this team needs.
Hello, my name is David Young. I work for Nintendo of America, and I'm here to show you Paper Mario 2 today. This game is coming out in the US October 11th, and we're really excited about it. Let me show you a few things that make this game really exciting. As the game starts out, Princess Peach gets kidnapped. Who could have seen that coming? In any case, Paper Mario 2 is a role-playing game with some action and adventure elements. What makes this really unique and fun is the fact that the characters realize they're made out of paper, and that offers a lot of unique gameplay opportunities. As you can see, there are these two-dimensional characters. As you go through the adventure, you're going to uncover hidden crystals that will allow Mario to decipher a map that will let him rescue Princess Peach. Here we are. Okay, you see off in the distance, this dragon is going off into the castle. Now, eventually, you're going to work your way to the castle, and there's quite a few different puzzles and traps and fun things that'll appear in there. Okay. As you go through your adventure, like any good role-playing game, you're going to encounter enemies. Here we go, there's an item. We got a mushroom, which is always fun. Let's just go on here to the right a little ways, and we'll get into a battle. What's unique about this game is the battle system. In most role-playing games, you have a turn-based adventure. You simply tell your character what to do, and then you watch the action go on the screen. With the Paper Mario game, it's an interactive battle. So not only will I tell Mario to jump, but I have to time the jump to get a little bit more juice out of it. There we go, that was a good hit. It took care of that little Goomba. Another thing that's interesting and exciting about this is that all the battles take place on a stage. And on this stage, you'll have an audience. As I'm starting out, I only have an audience of 2. It's a rather small audience. But the audience will affect your special meter. The more that the audience likes you, the quicker your special meter is going to fill up. A full special meter will allow you to have special attacks that will really do a lot of damage to your enemies. One of the things I can do here is I can appeal to the audience. I'll appeal. Here she gives a little wink to the audience. They really like that, and it fills my special meter up quicker. This game incorporates not only a lot of action and puzzles and fun and adventure, it's really a loving treatment of the Super Mario world. It uses the characters and environments, and it really does a lot of fun things with them. At one point in the game, you actually play as Bowser, going through the first level of the original Super Mario Brothers game, so it's a lot of fun. We'll go ahead and give a head bonk here. All right, here's the bonus system. Unfortunately, I didn't get a bonus. There we go. Took care of that battle, and then we're on with the adventure. All right. This game has lots of different special attacks, a lot of items that you can find that help you along the way, and a really intriguing storyline that makes it really a fun, exciting adventure. Once again, it is Paper Mario 2 only for the Nintendo GameCube.
My name is Sal DeVita. I'm the visual director on PsyOps. I'm responsible for the artwork and just the presentation of the game itself and a lot of the animations and so forth. We're going to show you a little bit of kind of what this game is about. This game utilizes a type of gameplay that really hasn't been investigated thoroughly in video games before. I'll let you watch a little bit of this for right now. This is Nick Scryer. He's our main character.
Calm down.
He's trapped in an enemy organization. He's been actually planted there by his superiors to infiltrate this organization, and he's being helped by a double agent inside. Nick is basically he's the highest trained Psy agent that our government organization has, but Nick has been mind wiped to infiltrate this organization because they also utilize Psy powers. They have mind probes to detect these Psy powers, so he had to be wiped in order to infiltrate this organization. So we're starting off in a jail cell, and we're going to try to escape this place. Okay, so we started off kind of just with a silenced pistol here, and our Psy powers. Normally in the game, you wouldn't start off with your Psy powers, but for the purpose of this demo, I'm starting them off so that we can have some fun. One of the first powers I'll show you is a power called telekinesis. That's the ability to lift up objects with your mind and move them around, and I'll show you an example of it. Here, you can target kind of any object here, pick it up, and you can see that I can move things around and place them up, down, wherever. Take objects and throw them into walls, causing, I guess, distractions, drawing guards nearby. This guy just kind of heard me here. I can now take him and throw him into this explosive barrel and blow him up. Again, telekinesis is pretty powerful. The ability to move things around with your mind and throw things around. I'll show you more of that later. Now I'm in a little firefight here. I can choose to use my regular pistol if I want to, but that's not going to be very effective. I'm going to get my machine gun here, of course, and shoot this guy, and then pick him up and teach him a lesson. Throw him into some barrels there, kind of torment this guy's body, kick him around a little bit afterwards. You can see our physics system is pretty sophisticated here. We use a hybrid of the Havoc 2 physics system. It's been optimized for our game, but you can see that ragdoll physics are very realistic, as you'll see the rest of the physics in this game are realistic. Another power I'd like to show you is something called remote view. And that's the ability to see through doors or see into rooms that you can't quite get to or you may not want to get to. Remote view allows you to kind of walk through almost undetected and kind of see into areas and kind of spy on guys and spy on a room and kind of visualize its threats and visualize maybe a plan of attack of how to get through this area. You can detect, you can see what enemies' patterns are and what their paths are, and kind of use that information best you can to get through that level. So knowing that, I'm going to go through this door. It'll show me a quick movie here. The story of this game is told through the series of these FMV cuts. There are about 55 minutes of FMV that we have in the movie. They're in small, tolerable snippets throughout the game. And again, it's a very interesting story. So I'll skip through this one here. Okay, so now that I know I have these three guys there, I'd rather not go in there and start a big firefight, 3 against 1. I'm going to get pretty hurt. So I think one of the safest ways to do it is by using another power called mind control. That's the ability to take over somebody else's mind with your mind. So I'll target a guy and I'll mind control him. And as you can see now, I have control of this guy. I can run him around amongst my fellow soldiers here, and they don't realize that I've been taken over. They think I'm no threat until, of course, I start shooting them. And of course, they're not into that. So now they're aware that I'm an enemy, and they shoot at me, they shoot back at me, but I can actually have this guy here, my controlled guy, my host, take as much abuse as I want, even die. It doesn't hurt me. I'm safe up here. And now this guy, I can also just control him as well. And he's my last threat. So what I'll do is, I'll just have him either run over to a barrel and shoot the barrel to explode himself, and that kind of takes care of him. And now I don't have to worry about anybody in there. And you can see I haven't lost any health. I haven't even used any bullets up, so that's kind of a good thing. Again, telekinesis is used to pick up objects, move them around, start maybe move an object that's on fire to another object that maybe might start that object on fire. The fire will propagate to other objects if it's flammable. Or take the flammable objects and throw them at people and start those people on fire. So, actually, one of the cooler things, before I go on to the next power, one of the cooler things about telekinesis, picking things up and moving them around, is the ability to actually move yourself around with telekinesis. And you do that by standing on top of an object and lifting that object up and then moving that object around. And as you can see, this is a technique called TK surfing. TK surfing is cool because you can actually get different vantage points on your level, and you can actually get to areas where you could snipe people or actually climb on top of certain areas that you couldn't normally get to, or actually just surf across a dangerous hazard like an acid pit or something like that. Okay, I'll show you next power here. And again, using your powers in combination is the key here. I'll use remote view to kind of see into here and see what my threats are. I see an enemy out ahead next to an explosive barrel. That's good, not very safe. I'll open the door up and use a power called pyrokinesis. And that's the ability to throw fire. So I can throw a wall of fire at the guy, light him on fire, and set this whole area ablaze. Now other enemies are there, but I can just go ahead and set them on fire too, or set objects next to them on fire. That explosive barrel just got set on fire, it exploded and blew up a guy that was next to it. Again, using telekinesis along with different powers is important. Light guys on fire, pick them up, and throw them around. I'm out of psi power. That's a good point. Every time I use my psi power, it drains my meter a little bit. As my meter drains, I'll have to replenish it. The way to replenish it is by going up to dead bodies and using a power called mind drain. And that basically sucks the brain energy out of their heads and actually transfers it to mine. As you can see, my psi meter went up a little bit there. I'll go up to this guy, and I'll transfer some of his energy to my energy. And I'll keep doing that. Now, you can drain dead guys and get partial replenishment back, or I can drain a live guy, which is more effective, and get a chunk more, a much greater replenishment back.
Exactly. Precisely. More to come. Frill. Exactly. Precisely. More to come. Don't you know it? Frill. Yep. Really nice. Lightning bolt. Really nice. Wicked! Oh,
hello, my name is Ben Judd. I'm in international business for Capcom. And today, the game I'd like to show you is Resident Evil 4. It's a hot one, so let's play a little Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil.
All right, now take a look. Resident Evil 4's main character is Leon. Leon comes back from Resident Evil 2 in this series. And what makes this game so unique, as you can see here, is the camera is totally different than any other Resident Evil. It has been recreated from the ground up. You have the bullet display over here. You have the, what do you call it, the wide screen with the bars on the top and bottom. This is all something very new we've never tried before in the series. When Leon runs like this, you can see up to his knees. However, when he aims, it closes in on his torso and his head and his arms only. It works really, really well. It's kind of like a pseudo first-person perspective you're showing. Now, Leon wanders into this deserted cabin, as I'm showing you right now. He's actually come to an Eastern European village looking for the president's daughter who has been kidnapped. Leon has since the incident at Raccoon City, he has joined the Special Forces, and his first assignment, as I stated before, is to rescue the president's daughter. Now, I should say that Umbrella has nothing to do with the story at all. If you buy the game, right at the beginning, you'll find out what happened to Umbrella. It's been 6 years since the incidents in Raccoon City, and part of the mystery of this game is finding out what these new enemies are. I can say that they are not zombies. They look like normal people, maybe slightly deformed. And here he comes. Right there, shot him in the shoulder. Miss. Uh-oh, see, he ducks. They're smart. What I just showed you was the action feature. If you get a headshot on the enemy, you can run up to them and press the A button and you'll kick them. This is something new to the Resident Evil series as well. One thing I know the producers were worried about was they were worried that you were going to get probably a lot of backlash from not having Umbrella in it, and a lot of backlash from not having zombies in it especially. As you can see, the A button right here on the screen is highlighted A, check. That's known as the action button, and Leon can do a lot of different actions in this game. I'm going to show you one right now, after I pick up the typical bullets that you find in every Resident Evil. Here's the window, press A to jump out. Bam! Leon's gotten a lot more flexible than the previous Resident Evils. Now, what makes these crazed villagers so unique, I guess they're not people, they're not zombies. Like I said, you'll find out about that later, is that they're smart. Previous Resident Evil mainstay enemies were the zombies. And the producer felt they were boring. They're slow, they're easy to dodge. You just sit there and pick them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, they're dead. What's fun in that? Oh, that hurts. That's gotta hurt. What makes the game so cool is that these enemies, they're smart. They'll stalk you. They'll use different weapons. If you try and hide in a house and you bar the door, they will try to actually get in through the roof or through like the second floor window by using a ladder. As you can see, they even set up traps. If I were to run through this, I would get smashed. So I'm going to, a little too close. Ouch. Sorry, Leon. He's about dead. We're probably gonna have to restart soon. But as you can see, the game itself is very difficult. Headshot, bam, kick. I love that kick. A lot of the game takes place in this town and the surrounding area. But you also go into a castle, and there's kind of like a cult that you fight against. Depending on where you shoot the enemies, they react different. As you can see, some of them are very quick. I'm hurting, so I'm not going to mess around with them. I'm going to run past them. As you can see, the graphics are amazing. This engine has been totally created from the ground up. Not good, not good. There we go. And so, you got some really, really cool effects going on here. Here's also an example of the sub-screen. There's going to be no more boxes in the game, but you are going to have a bigger inventory. A lot of people used to complain about that. I'm going to use your typical first aid spray here and heal myself up because I was hurting pretty bad. Here we go. Now we're getting to the mainstay of the village. Open. Now it's really quite cool what they've done here. Halfway through the game, when you get to the city part, when you get to the castle part, you're going to actually find the president's daughter, Ashley. Here's another one of the action commands going on. You look. You see the villagers right now, they're just living life, doing their typical daily activities. I'm going to zoom in and see, oh wow, they've caught some police officers and they're burning them at the stake. Man, these guys are relentless. What makes it so cool is that when you find Ashley, you have to rescue her and you actually guide her around through the various areas. A to jump over, bam, there you go. That action button being used again. Now the villagers are chasing after me. They know I'm in here. They're issuing orders. They're going to try and surround me. No zombie would have done this before. So this brings a certain amount of fear and tenseness that was never in the series before. And of course, there's Mr. Chainsaw. Look, they're using a ladder to get in. Son of a, my words exactly. Here we go. I'm going to go upstairs and try and get them off that ladder. Ooh, double barrel shotgun, hand on the pump. We like this. And look what I can do with the A button. Knock down ladder. Oh, you're not getting up that way, suckers. I love that. I love the fact that there's so many different things you can do with the A button here. And they duck. They don't want to get shot in the head. Shoot different weapons out of their hands as well. Reload, hurry up, Leon. Ow, that's gotta hurt. I'm gonna get out of here. Now I'm on the roof, so there's a lot of different areas to go. Knock down the ladder. I gotta find a way to get off the roof now before they take me out. There we go. The graphics engine, like I said, is built from the ground up. It really shows. You're gonna find some really, really impressive graphics here. I'm gonna be mean and shoot the cow. Dumb cow. I have heard that there are grenades, rocket launchers, typical weapons you may find around in the area. Uh-oh. Show you what this guy means. Oh no! Oh my! I am sorry, Leon. Leon's toast. That's about all I have for the game to show you right now. Like I said, the Ashley part where you're guiding her around trying to protect her, that is very cool because she's gonna duck when you aim at her, but it takes a while, so you have to think about that. The monsters will try and carry her away as well. So you have to try and chase after them, shoot the monster, and then it'll drop her. You have to help her down from high places and give her a lift up in other places. She really is just your typical 20-year-old girl with an attitude. She doesn't always listen to Leon, so he's got to chase after her for a lot of the game. But it's just a whole new element, that protecting somebody, the old valiant hero role that Leon gets to play, that makes the game also very, very cool. So look for this game sometime late 2004. It's a great game, reinvented the series, old fans should love it, and we hope that people that didn't like it before will give it a shot now because it really is a cool, cool game.
Six years have passed since that horrendous incident. I received special training via a secret organization working under the direct control of the president. I was to assume the responsibility of protecting the new president's family.
Coño, why am I the one who always gets the short end of the stick?
You, who are you really? Come on and tell us.
Vayan por detrás.
Small world, eh? Well, you know.
Don't worry. She's cool.
There's supposed to be some kind of obvious symptom before you turn into one of them anyway.
You all right?
I'm fine! Just leave me alone! Leon!
Okay, it's game time.
Resident Evil 4.
It's freezing.
This is the city I protect. New York City. It's my home. My playground. My responsibility.
This may come as a shock to you.
I'm Mitch Boyer. I'm the AP on SRS at Namco.
And I'm Robert Zlot, producer on Street Racing Syndicate for Namco. In Street Racing Syndicate, you assume the life of an American street racer. You buy cars, tune up cars, and race cars against other people that are doing the exact same thing. So we have about 49 cars right now, and we're not done. So we're trying to get as many in as we can. But there's 7 manufacturers right now. We got Toyota, we have Subaru, we have Volkswagen, and lots of editions of cars too. So the Impreza WRX, we also have the STI edition, the 350Z, the Nissan 350Z. We also have the Touring edition, the Performance edition. So the main thing you do, sort of the meat of the game, is you buy a car, you head out and you tune it up and challenge people, and you can challenge people right out on the road as you're driving around, because we have a open city. The whole game is an open map, and if you see somebody, you can go up and high beam them and challenge them to a race. And if they you haggle over the bet, and then you take off, and if you win, you get their money. There's also crew races in the game where these teams of guys sort of have their territory, and you can roll up to their sort of hangout and challenge them to races, and you race for respect and money, and then as you earn money, you tune up your car.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to too. You won't get very far unless you do. So in other games that you might be familiar with, say you want to put an exhaust on or something like that, You put an exhaust on it and it'll tell you that'll be 15 horsepower. You know, it tells you what you're gonna get. In SRS, we don't do that. We actually feature a real dyno, which is a first for games of this type, where you can actually see we're plotting real-time torque and horsepower curves. That none of that is lookup tables, none of it is fake. That is straight runtime data from the game engine itself. So you can see right now, this is 280 base horsepower for this version of the car. If I go and I modify it, let's say I go and I put over to turbos here, go to Greddy, put a Greddy intercooler on, T78 turbo, buy these parts. And then if I go back and I dyno it again, put it on the dyno, you'll see that there's 2 torque curves and 2 horsepower curves now, and you can actually do comparison runs so that every time you upgrade your car, you'll be able to really see what you gain, and it's the real gains.
It's the actual gains. It's the stock car with the real horsepower and characteristics of that car, and then as you add the parts, it affects the car in the way it would in real life. So those gains from that intercooler and that turbo are actually what you would get. And our dyno is a real dyno. I mean, it's virtual because it's in a video game, but we're actually putting the car on the dyno and letting it run and calculating the output. So
it's generated directly from the physics model of the game itself. And the physics in this game is pretty fantastic. I mean, if you compare it to other games of its type, it's far more realistic. And it's not a sim, but we've really had to start with a basis of realism to get where we want to be. We have car-specific driver assists. So on a car as famous as, like, so let's say the Nissan Skyline GTR, the Skyline has very distinctive driver assist systems. It's got 4-wheel steering in its Super Hika system. It's got electronic torque split in its Atezza Pro system. So we model all of those systems into the actual gameplay, and you can feel it when you're driving the car.
So one of the key things for us was starting with that sim aspect and then bringing out the personalities of the individual cars. If you drive a car with all-wheel drive, it feels different than a car with rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. And we've actually tried to, like I said, bring out the personalities of the cars so that an RX-7 drives like an RX-7, and someone who owns an RX-7 will be able to jump in it and understand that it's a rear-wheel drive car, and that if they, take a turn the wrong way and they have too much gas, they might slide out. But if you're not that hardcore into cars, it's still very accessible, and you can still drive, and you just pick the car you like, the way it looks the best, or whatever your criteria is, you'll be able to jump in and drive it.
And the guy who just wants to jump in and stab the gas pedal can really do that. But then guys who understand drifting, guys who understand apex and oversteer, understeer, real world techniques will have a great advantage in that way. They'll know how to drive. Our game will reward it.
Another thing is in our free roaming city, we've done stuff to we wanted to give you things to do while you're out in the world. So you go and you tune up your car and you're tweaking, how the car performs. Then you go out on the street and you can actually feel the changes. So we've got guys out on the street that are tuning up their cars too, and you can high beam them and start a race with them. But also there's police. So if you blow past a cop at 120 miles an hour, he's gonna chase you. So you have to evade the cop, and the way you do that is by trying to outmaneuver him and go around corners and try to hide. So you'll see that the cops, once they give chase, they'll call more cops, and you can just try to outrun them, but they got radios, and the speed of sound is a little faster than you. So, but you can ditch them and hide and things like that.
That's what's cool about the open city. I mean, we've been able to build in hideouts all around the city, and we don't tell the player where they are. They're just there. So if you're running from the cops and you duck into some alleyway, you'll just see the cops blow by, and it'll say hiding in the corner of the screen.
Here's another racer you're not supposed to hit him.
But he accepted the challenge.
Yeah. So there's other racers out in the world, and this is just a pickup race. You just saw this guy driving around, and you're like, I think I can take him. So you just blink your high beams at him, and then it's on.
I don't know if you can see, but in this shot here, we also feature something that you wouldn't expect to see in a game with licensed cars, which is damage. We have real-time damage in the game that's not only visually evident, but affects performance. You can see my hood flapping in the wind right here as I squeeze.
And at the end of the race, you have to go pay for the damage. You have to fix your car. So it's a hard balance to get, have it be fun, and then have the damage not cost too much. And it does affect your car, but it's not so much that you just get hobbled. So, the key for us was to keep it fun, and to give you all of these features and still have it be, you know, jump in and go, exciting.
Because if it's
racing.
a sim, it's no fun. I mean, driving a car that's completely destroyed isn't fun. Driving a car that you can see that it's wrecked and it doesn't drive as good as it used to, that can still be fun.
Please don't hit me.
Hi, my name's Adrian Moore. I'm the lead designer of the movie's Lionhead game, and I'm just going to show you a little bit about the game and sort of the essence of what it's all about. So, really, it's a really simple to understand game. It's that you get to run your own Hollywood movie studio. You get to run it through from 1900 through to the present day, a little way into the future. And there's three main parts to the game. One is designing your studio lot. The second is looking after and nurturing your movie stars. And the third is making the movies themselves. So if we go over here, we can see that, you know, here's my movie studio. I've got these buildings here. Each of these buildings give me different abilities. You know, this stage school, for example, I can hire people here. I can just grab them and pick them up, drop them on these buttons. And this is really the essence of the interface. We want this game to be really simple to play. So the interface is incredibly simple. You're just picking people up, dropping them on the ground, clicking on buttons, clicking on buildings, clicking on these buttons on the buildings. These kind of buildings are okay. They're the business buildings. They're kind of boring, really. I mean, they each give you different things you can do in the game, but the exciting places that you want to put down is... Actually, there's a couple of little movie stars there getting up to no good, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The sets are the really exciting places. These are the places where the cast and crew assemble to actually shoot the films. And if we look here, we've got a Western film here being shot. And I've set this up early, just to make myself a quick buck, really. And I can click on here and I can look into the set and I can see they're having a little fight in the Western saloon. And I've actually put them in like 1970s costumes. This kind of indicates the kind of the customization I can do. I haven't put them in the standard Western costumes. I put them in some 70s costumes because I wanted to, really. So we can see through the camera they're shooting over here. We can go over here and we can see another film I've got shooting is an action movie here on the City Street set. It's a really large, expensive set. I've had to make quite a lot of money to afford this set. Here's the crew. If we click through here, we can see the scene being shot. This is an action scene. There's a little car coming around the corner. I can put it on a slow setting. If I want to, I can just grab this slider bar and I can dynamically control the contents of this scene. I can make them go around the set faster. I put it up even more. I can make them go around and have a little collision. These are like just some of the tweaks I can do. I can customize every single scene. I can really put together every single last detail of film I want to make. Or with like one button click, I can make like a stock movie. I can make a stock Western or a stock horror or a stock science fiction film. I just wrap up my third film that I've got on the go, which is my science fiction film, and I just, you can see I've got three choices of endings here. I've got a happy ending, which is a romantic scene. I've got here an angry setting. This is my kind of, you know, it's kind of my Han Solo and Leia of Star Wars kind of a scene where they're like kind of having a little bit of a tiff. Or I've got this last setting where they're actually dead. She's actually dead, and I actually want to go for the happy ending, so I'm going to go for the romantic one. And I'm going to overrule the director. I'm not going to let him do the number of takes he wants to do. I'm going to click on this and say, yeah, move on, and I want you to finish this film. Before we have a look at the film, because we can see every film we make in the game, we can actually watch it back. Before we do that, I'm just going to sort out a little situation I have down here. I've got a movie star here who's been in a couple of films for me. He's gone from obscurity to like a B-level rating celebrity. It's gone to his head a little bit. He's become a little bit of a star. He's got his entourage, he's got his personal trainer, his yoga teacher, he's got his selection of entourage surrounding him, and he's not happy about the size of his trailers. What I've got to do is I've got to rectify this situation. I've got to pick him up and I've got to drop him on that other trailer. If I didn't do that, he would just be there. He would never get to set for me. He'd probably go and work for a rival studio, in actual fact. We heard the applause there, and we can see that the director and the cast and crew have clapped their hands because they've done a successful shoot. I'm actually going to watch back the movie that I've just made. So if I go back into this thing, we can see my 6 scenes have been shot here. Click on this button and go into post-production. Now, I don't have to do this. As part of the game, I can just make movies and release them. I can make money and make more movies, build up my stable of stars. But I'm actually going to watch this film back, and this is my sci-fi film where I've got my bad guy and he's captured the princess and he's giving her a hard time. All of this is costumes I've chosen, the sets I've chosen, the scenes I've chosen. If I want to, I can actually open up these further advanced editing features, and I can zoom forward, and I can, where the hero comes in, I can say, I can make the bad guy actually say something. So I'm going to make him say, I'm got. So this is kind of customization. I can put text in here, I can put my own sound effects, my own music, I can record my own voice in here, and if I want to, I can hit a single button, wait a couple of minutes, and I can export the film out of the game, and I can email that film to my friends. I can compete with my, I can upload it to the website to compete with everyone else that's made movies with this game. And I can get online money, which I can download new stuff into my game. So here we are watching the film back. Once I watched it back, I can release it. I can release it on the cinema. I can release it on TV. I can release it on video. I can release it on DVD to get different revenue streams. I get a little review of every film I've made. Give me a bit of feedback about how good or bad my film has been, which helps me give me information about new films I'm going to make. That's really what the movie is all about. There's a whole load of customization here that I won't show you right now, but you know, I can put actors in different costumes. I have to send them to a health facility when they go off the rails. It's really a simulation game which is really easy to understand, and there's a whole lot of stuff in there.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
You wanna sick on it?
Hey, up here. What? But you're me. I knew you'd say that. Here. A key. But what does it... You'll figure it out. Just make sure to pass it on when you're done. Ha! That was cool. Up ahead. Time to save the world and then go party.
Good work, Cortez. Way to travel back in time and come to your own rescue.
everyone. My name's Ben Judd. I work in international business at Capcom. And I should say, before I introduce the next super cool game I have for you to hear today, that I have a big, big crush on Igmar Lack. Because he's the man. Okay. Anyways, enough of that crap. On to the game. Today I'm showing you Beautiful Joe 2. Beautiful Joe 1 was a hit game. Got a lot of praise. A few Game of the Year awards from some big names like USA Today, some other publications. I won't go into the details, but let's just say a lot of people thought that it brought gaming to the next level while still maintaining the old 2D-esque, old school style, which I, of course, know since I've been playing games since about then. Beautiful Joe 2, there are two basic areas that they're focusing on. One is Sylvia is a playable character from the start, and she has different moves that are very different from Joe's. In one, she was a playable character, but they were just like palette swaps, and she didn't have all that different moves. Now she is a totally different, independent, unique character. The next thing is that the Robot 6 machine, you get to see he has 6 different incantations in the game that you can change into. Very cool as well, very implemented quite well throughout the stages. Now I know I talked to the producer, and he said that they've tried to give each stage a more movie-esque theme. So this first stage is sort of like dinosaur prehistoric land. I went with Joe as my character. Sylvia's cool as well. She's got a gun. That totally changes the game style, gameplay. But I gotta say, Joe is still cool. A lot of people are saying they wish that there was something else in the game that made it cool. I think it's cool enough as it is. If you've got a formula that's not broken, why try to fix it, is my theory. In this E3 demo, they've intentionally made it easier for some of the people. So you have a lot of hearts, a lot of life. Here we go, I'm gonna do the dodge, slow, and bam! Beautiful Joe madness. Even the double jumps in this E3 version as well. And here's some more Beautiful Joe puzzles. I love these things. Really made you use your mind, I think, in the first one. Here we go. Now this big thing is blocking my way. And ow! It's gotta hurt. Okay. And you can see my bracelet's glowing, giving me a little hint that I need slow, down, and punch for the uppercut, and here we go. No more lava rocks. And there goes the bridge. It's little puzzles like that that make Joe a very fun game to play, I think. A question was posed to me by a lot of people here at the show of whether Beautiful Joe is going to be as hard as the first one, which some hardcore people loved and some light users absolutely hated. I can say that they have adjusted the various difficulties so that those hardcore gamers can really appreciate the kind of action that they're getting. And still there's going to be a large challenge, yet some of the easier stages are going to be more accessible for for light users as well. Bam! Red Hot Kid. Here we go. You can see the dinosaurs in the background. Very cool, a lot of attention to detail. As colorful and cartoony as it always has been. Once again, another puzzle. There's my bracelet glowing. Cast slow on that volcano in the background and bam! There we go. That pushes that down and we are now able to go down here to the next part of the stage. And he's got a key. So I'm gonna beat it out of him. Oh, get over here. Take your medicine. There we go. And there's the key. Gotta climb back up and go to the next point of the game. Now, I'm just gonna say this, and I don't want anybody to get their hopes up, but there has been rumors of this game having a 2-player simultaneous mode. I can't say whether that's going to be in the final for sure or not, but I can say that R&D is working on making this a special play experience. Still's got a lot of time left for it. This is also something that's going to come out later in 2004, but it may have a couple surprises when it comes out. I don't think it's only going to have what it's got right now, if I know the R&D division that's making it. Very cool. Beautiful Joe 2 coming out, I think December 2004 as well.
You're just another one of those old attractions in this movie land. Head to the go-go, baby!
You can't disappoint them.
Oh, Sylvia.
Like I said, there's more to this story.
Wow, what did you say?
Ready? Action!
Come on, Six Machine!
Christ, that's a new record. Come this way.
Leon.